Hey guys, today I have a video. This time me is Grim.exe, and full disclosure, I'm not good with the Rangers, or not as good as I am with fighters and casters. I just don't really, my playstyle just doesn't match up with the Rangers, but I'm trying to do my best. I think we had a pretty decent game. We ended up losing, but I had some good moments in here, and I'll try to tell you guys everything that I know about the Rangers and how they should be played. So stay tuned, please. The game does get pretty interesting, but I believe it's like it was a long game. It lasted like an hour, so I cut out and edited parts, like the more boring parts that kind of got repetitive with me farming and stuff, just to kind of speed things up and get to the good parts. So I start off with the disruption bomb thing that Grim.exe has, and if you notice my deck, I try to focus mostly on damage with Grim.exe, but then it's also good to have some health with him, so just so he's not like instantly dead in team fights, just so we can stay alive for a decent amount of time if he needs to. So I'm gonna go left lane and try to just farm some minions and get high level. Nothing, especially for the Rangers, there's nothing like too serious going on early game. It's kind of how the Rangers are meant to be too. They're supposed to get a lot better compared to other types of heroes as the game goes on, whereas like casters, they're better early game and then they kind of drop off later game. So right now this is just me spinning around. I was kind of looking at some other graphics and what happened. But yeah, so I'm just gonna try to take out some of these minions and farm with this howitzer, who gets very good at taking out minions. And howitzer's a ranger, right? But he's definitely more. I feel like he's more on the caster side of the ranger. He has some more splash damage abilities, which yeah. So I'm not trying to be too aggressive right now. I'm trying to make sure I don't get ganked by anybody. I don't want to be too aggressive in pushing any towers and start doing damage. I'm just trying to move up with the minions so I can get the other minions and get that XP and level up fast. And one thing that you always want to be doing is getting that last hit on the minions. It helps a lot. It speeds up your farming. But this howitzer, unfortunately, is taking a lot of the last hits. So he knows what's going on. And with the Rangers, like especially Grim.exe, I'd be pretty like cautious and frugal like when you use their abilities, because you don't want to be using them all the time depending on what ranger you're playing as. And if you guys notice some cuts, I'm kind of cutting through some of the video just to get past me farming. Believe me, you guys aren't missing anything interesting. So you want to be kind of careful. So I disruption bomb that Gideon to try to get him over maybe me, and this howitzer can take him out, but unfortunately we are not doing enough damage to be able to get, take him out fast enough, which is, like I said, later game, the Rangers are able to do that. So I try to disruption beam him. They are low level, and it looks like there's a little bit of a team fight going on. I'm gonna go try to help out. We get Sparrow down, and there's Khaimera going away, but he doesn't stand a chance. And I think, no, we do end up getting this Gideon, who's still running, which was definitely good for us. So don't be afraid to help out early game in the team fights, guys. As a ranger, just stay back and play things really cautiously, because you definitely don't have, you don't have the damage to be able to pull major weight in early game, which is what the Rangers are good for. So you want to so I'm going to continue to farm, maybe push up a little on some of the lanes, just to kind of create some disruption within the enemies, like rank. So yeah, I'm taking out minions. Me and this decker are gonna continue moving up. I'm not being super aggressive. Like, I'm not gonna go and run and try to get that hero. I can't see who it is right now. That Richter. Don't be super aggressive, guys. It's definitely not good. And I'm trying to stay back too, but I think it does end up being the death of me in a little bit. You guys will see. I believe a Khaimera comes out of the jungle and gets me, which is definitely one of the Rangers' biggest weaknesses. Like, what they don't have, which most other characters have, is they don't have anything to cover cover their ass. Like, they don't have any abilities to get them out of situations fast, especially Grim.exe. He has that disruption beam that maybe you'll be able to blast a fighter away, but other than that, you don't have anything. So you definitely have to be careful about that with the Rangers, is that they don't have any like getaway, like, and they are not able to survive long if they're put in the front lines of the fight. They do not do well, as opposed to something like, you know, definitely a Rampage. Definitely good. He has that pounce ability. I've seen many Rampages get away just because they use that. They're able to use that pounce ability. And like the casters, like Gideon, he has that torn space where he can just teleport away. Or you have Iggy and Scorch, and they're able to use that run ability and the flamethrower ability, the belch, whatever you call it now. So I'm trying to get that last kill, as you guys see. Definitely very important. You want to get CXP and regular XP to move up. So I'm still cutting through the video, just skipping me farming. You guys will notice that. I'm trying not to be too aggressive. Don't push up too much, guys. Don't make any like big movements, especially early game. So I see that gadget kind of trying to do something. They're like coming to get me, but I move back. It doesn't hurt if you just shoot minions. But even though the Rangers are pretty bad at that compared to casters, Grim.exe doesn't have any splash damage abilities, so he will not be effective at taking out minions. But it always does help just to level them up and push lanes, which you definitely need. So I'm gonna continue pushing up. So I'm staying right lane because there isn't too much action going on, and with the Rangers, you really don't want a whole lot of action going on early game, because you kind of just want to farm, get really high level, and then really be having that damage output later game. So that way you're really just unstoppable and you can take out anyone and really help out your team. Yeah, so I'm not being aggressive, guys. Notice I do not charge that gadget. I see the gadget just kind of using that run ability to come after me, but I'm staying back, which is definitely what you want to do. You don't want to be ganking enemies. Definitely not recommended. And I'm just gonna kind of sit back and let the minions come, because like I said, you want to get that XP. And I see that the gadget just ran down to the left, so I'm gonna go check to make sure she's not coming trying to gank me or something with another character, but she wasn't. She's just back over there, which I don't think I've bought any wards yet. I know I have wards in my deck, but I didn't buy any yet. I was just that's how I was playing this game. So I see the gadget. She doesn't have any minions, so I take a couple shots on her, but it doesn't do much because I don't have that damage upgrade. I don't have that damage upgrade yet. So yeah, now I'm just gonna continue trying to keep, just battle this gadget. You keep the lane kind of, still, but of course Khaimera does come up and gank me, which does end up being the death of me. As you guys can see, I do not get away, which is expected with Grim.exe because he does not have any like getaway abilities. But the one thing that the Rangers are kind of decent at is kind of like keeping the lanes at a stalemate, so that way if there's another hero there trying to push up or something, you can kind of just block off the lane and stop action from happening. If it's like a 1v1 kind of deal, it's good to go up against like casters or something like that, or even enemy Rangers. So I see Gideon, he's being decently aggressive, and he has almost no health, and he is a caster, so I'm gonna try to get him down low enough to where I can use my super to get him. But I back off. I don't want to like charge up there, because I definitely will die. I'm trying not to be aggressive. So that he's being pretty aggressive. He's moving up, So this is where I use my super on him, and that's definitely how you want to use your super, right there. You don't want to let him get away. And if you can just get an enemy down to, well, what is it, like 300, 400, even 500 health late game, then you definitely want to use that Grim.exe ability to get them. And it definitely comes in handy because it auto locks, and unlike Murdoch's ability, which is kind of similar, you don't have to worry about missing. So basically, as long as you're alive and you have the ability, then you basically got to kill if you can get them down to that low, which is definitely an advantage of Grim.exe. And as you guys can see, I'm pushing up a little, trying to take out these minions because that's where the minions are. I'm trying to level up, but this might not have been the best idea. But as you guys saw, I just placed down 2 wards to make sure I don't have like a Khaimera come and gank me or something. Yeah, so I turn around one last glance before moving into the tower. I have a decker with me. Now I get this tower down, and all of a sudden I'm out. Like, I just run away because I don't want to get, you know, by this amount of time where I've been taking down that tower for a decent amount of time. The enemies, guys, keep in mind the enemies will have time to react to that, and they shoot. And if you do it right, then you can get a tower down fast and then just ditch and get out of there. But just be careful about that. And here's Khaimera again. There's nothing I can do. I'm out. But like I don't know if I finished earlier. Like I said, be aware of what the enemy's reaction time will be. Some teams will be really slow with the reaction time. Some teams won't even care. But then some teams will be right there, you know, like the whole team just, you're trying to get away from a nice tower kill or even just getting it down, and next thing you know the whole team's there and you guys are down 3 players because you didn't get away fast enough and you're trying to be, you know, just trying to get that little extra tower damage, which was not smart. So just be aware of how fast, you know, how fast the team's reaction time is and when you think would be a good time to leave. And especially with the Rangers, you want to get out early. So I just moved right lane. I moved right lane because that's when the minions are, and there's a tower right there that's easier for me to tech. And one thing is that as you move forward within the towers, as you like move on to the layers of towers, like the first layer, second layer, and then to the inhibitors, it gets more and more dangerous playing as a ranger and taking down the towers alone, because you have a lot more opportunities from characters like Khaimera to move through the jungle and then gank you, and then there's nothing you can do. Definitely bad. So I'm gonna try to move middle lane and stay in my tower, and I'm using that Grim.exe slow ability, but I don't get them low enough to be able to use my super, I don't believe. Or maybe I do. I don't know. They have a lot of minions, which, as I said, the Rangers are not good at taking the minions out, especially Grim.exe. My ally just showed up. Now they're going to go right lane because we are being attacked right lane. Yeah, so I'm going to try to help out right lane. Unfortunately, I don't think that... No, we have enough. Yeah, we get them. So there's Sparrow. She's running. I'm going to try to keep in mind when my super... yeah, so Sparrow doesn't get away. But if I wanted to, I could have used that super, guys. But don't waste a super just because, you know, you want to use the super. If you know you can get her, don't waste it. So there's getting... My super wouldn't have been good enough to get him. So I'm shooting this Khaimera. Gideon pulls us all in. And I just super him right out of that ability just to get him down fast enough. If you guys noticed that, I really didn't want to risk dying just because I didn't want to use my super. That might not be the most effective way to use a super, like right there, but I did save my life. I saved my own life there, guys. So if you can save your life, then use the super. Okay? Anything to save a life, because you will end up losing that time while you're dead anyways. Our decker did a pretty good job keeping them contained. I think I'm pushing up a little too much, guys, right now, and I have pretty shit transmission. I'm not good with the attack names, guys. I have pretty shit disruptor balls. as you guys saw, I'm not the best at aiming them. I don't understand, like, do you have to, like, should I, because I was trying to get it to the point where they were blasting it back into us to keep people from getting away, but is it just best to shoot them right at someone, or is there like what's the range to get them, like, do I have a lot of range? And my super's like 12 seconds away right now from being ready, so I'm kind of just waiting it out. And if I can get that Gideon, I believe it is, over there to stay in the tower and keep trying to defend off lanes, then I'll be able to kill him with my super. But he does end up getting away. He's too far back to use your super. You don't have him visually seen. So I'm just going to try to stay back. No, that's not Gideon. That's not Gideon that got away. It must have been like a Richter or something. And I don't get away because the Khaimera charged us, and the Chimeras and the fighter types will charge yourself if you're playing as a ranger. Just watch out, guys. And a tip that I would give for all players, guys, is that you always want to be playing defensively, or not always, but if you're one of the newer players, it's always a good idea to be playing defensively and just staying back in your towers, because eventually the enemy will screw up. And eventually you will have that opportunity to be able to kill somebody if you're back in your tower and just killing minions, because you will be leveling up as long as you're not consistently dying. So just stay back in your towers if you're new at this. Especially rangers are good for this kind of the newer people, because the rangers have slower, less complex kind of gameplay. Their responsibility is kind of just stay back and shoot stuff. And that's why I think I have trouble with stuff, because I kind of like being in there and unstoppable, which, I mean, who doesn't, but I just have trouble with staying back. I like to get that kill. And there's Gideon. You can see I'm trying to get him down enough, and I'm being pretty aggressive right now, which isn't good. Don't want to do that with rangers, guys. I suck at this, okay? So I'm launching that disruptor ball to kind of just do some splash damage, which it does decent now. I put down a ward to keep the Chimera from coming. Yeah, so I'm getting XP from taking down minions. They have they have a Sparrow and a Gideon caster, and is Sparrow's a ranger, right? Yeah, so they have a ranger and a caster, nothing strong, nothing that Grim.exe or a ranger should be super worried about. As long as you're not doing anything stupid. But yeah, I think we're doing well right now, because me and this Hauser are doing well with taking down enemy minions and kind of keeping the minions on their side. So I'm trying to just get in there and just get a little damage, but I see this, who is it, Gadget, pushing up. Not a smart idea. My teammates do help us out. I launched that transmission, the disruptor ball, and get her, but I ended up dying because the caster, Gideon and Sparrow, pushed up and got me. So always be aware of that, guys. Watch your mini-map even in like the most stressful times, because it will help you out a lot. I'm working on that. I watch my mini-map a lot, but I'm still adapting to this whole ranger play and not being in the very middle of things. And especially coming out of ranger, I've been playing Greystone a lot lately. Greystone is really the exact opposite of the rangers, because Greystone can just revive, so you really never have to be worrying about dying. So I'm gonna try to push in this Rampage. He's pretty good at absorbing the damage and keeping the enemies occupied and off the rangers. But it looks like the enemies are gonna try to push mid, and that Richter over there. I was laughing when I was seeing this. I think the Richter thought no one could see him or something, because he was kind of just standing there watching it, but he does end up running. Yeah, so they run left. I'm gonna stay mid, or no, I'm going right. And I have that Harvester's Key, guys, in my deck, because I found that with the new influx of people after the open beta came out, a lot of the new people have no idea what Harvesters even are, and they will just leave the Harvesters. So I mean, everybody has to do it. So I end up dying there, guys. The Richter pulled me in, so always be aware of that, who your enemies are. I've said that in the past. And I obviously have not been listening to my own advice. So yeah, always make sure that you're not going to be, pulled in, or there's like a support class, and always be aware of what, abilities your enemies will use. I think, no, never mind. So I'm going to move back mid lane because I see that the enemies are kind of looking to make a push. And I try to stay in my tower. There goes Gideon. I think I just end up leaving him. Even though I am doing good damage now, guys. I've been buying the damage cards. I'm doing good damage, and I can, help carry the team a little with the damage wise. I've also been buying crit chances, and you'll see me buy more crit chances a lot later. My crits like go up a lot. But yeah, I do damage, but still, even if you do damage, you still don't want to be in the middle of shit. Just stay back and watch and see where the opportunities where the enemies will be too distracted by your team to come at you, and then you can do damage. So I see that I use my super real fast just to get them down, and I see that they're attacking Orb Prime, and I tell my allies, and I see the opportunity to get Orb Prime down really fast, and all my allies did really well right here. They all showed up, and we all get this Richter down together. And one thing that I didn't know is that, one thing that I screwed up on was I thought that it was going to be the, who was it? I think a gadget. It was going to be the gadget was hitting it, but no. I guess since, even though we killed it, the Sparrow hit and aggroed the Orb Prime first. So even though we killed it, she still got the orb, which in my opinion is pretty bullshit. I think that it should go to our team, but whatever. And of course, I think she walks around with it back there, and I think that she's not able to get it to our side and give their team the Orb Prime buff, and our team does end up picking it up and going to the other side and getting the Orb Prime buff. Unfortunately, I think only 2 of our teammates get it, and it wears off pretty fast. So yeah, of course we're defending the left lane. We probably shouldn't have been pushed up this far, but we saw the opportunity, and they were kind of moving up. I think it was just Sparrow alone that was pushing up for a little bit, so we kind of saw the opportunity to quickly kill her and get that orb back, but it ended up not happening. So I do I'm trying to stay back. I'm trying to go with my teammates to go back to our towers, or closer to our towers, instead of like right here where I can easily get ganked by like that Khaimera. But whatever, it's too late now. We're already here. We're kind of just facing off. We're kind of watching the enemy team. We're not really engaging. And as you can see, I have relatively low health, and but it didn't matter to me. It was more important for me to be there and making sure that they didn't get that Orb Prime. Because even if I went back, revived, and then they were able to kill my whole team just because we were down a person, even if they did that, and I came back full health, I would not have been able to take them on all by myself. There's no chance. And we do end up killing 4 of them, and my allies took the orb back to their side and got our team the Orb Prime buff. Unfortunately, I was dead for this whole duration of time, and I edited that out. I cut it out because I didn't want, it kind of would have been boring to talk about. You guys can, I guess you guys can comment if you want me to leave in while I'm dead to see what my teammates are doing. But yeah, so I'm trying to do something middle lane. I'm trying to back up this rampage, so maybe we can take a tower down if we're lucky. Who is this? I think I can't. I'm trouble, guys. I'm having trouble seeing the enemy heroes. It's just the screen is small. It's hard to see them. But yeah, the enemy heroes kind of globbed up mid lane, so I kind of abandoned that. It was kind of unlikely that we were gonna get a tower after all that. Yeah, so I'm kind of moving to the jungle, and here you can see me ganking an enemy, which is definitely where like my Khaimera gameplay kind of affects me playing as Ranger. But it wasn't effective. It wasn't deadly either. I wasn't really in too much of a risk since it was just gadget, so it was fine. Yeah, so I'm gonna continue shooting these minions. Hopefully, we'll be able to push up into this tower and do some damage, get a tower down if we're lucky. So I'm shooting these minions, getting XP while we're pushing up, which is always good. And there's Gadget, who I always think that Gadget's like one of the most annoying people to play against, because they always have that, like, she has that sticky robot bomb, which is just annoying. Her super isn't that good. You really don't have to be too worried about Gadget's super as opposed to other people's super. But, you know, Gadget's Gadget, and I believe she is a caster, right? Am I right about that? I believe she is a caster. I've never played as Gadget before. I know she has a million fucking abilities. And I'm gonna... yeah. I'm lagging out a little here. I don't know why, but it's been lagging randomly lately. Whatever. So, you can see that Gadget super that wasn't really doing the damage to me. It was really that Sparrow using her super, which I find does a lot of damage if they have their damage upgraded. And it'll definitely take you down fast. So stay away. It's almost like Feng Mao. It's almost like Feng Mao, but ranged. So stay away from that, guys. Yeah. We're almost to 30 minutes here, and I'm gonna end this kind of soon. The game doesn't get too interesting after this. So I'm gonna cut this. We do end up losing, but it was a good game. Even though we lost, I played as a Ranger for not my first time, but you know, not too often do I play as Rangers. I played as a Ranger. I thought I did well. I went 4. What did I go? 4 and 8. Yeah. I thought I did okay. Okay. It was my first time. I was playing it really carefully, I thought, or at least a lot more carefully than I normally play. And I stacked up on health, which might not have been the best idea. I probably should have. I mean, I'm not experienced with Rangers, guys. I don't have the best decks and builds. I think that health is good for the Rangers. You definitely want some health because you definitely want to be able to stay alive, especially if you're doing that damage, like that mass amount of damage that the Rangers had. But I wouldn't worry about mana, guys, like mana pots, because you definitely want to, as long as you're using his abilities conservatively, you're not going to run out of mana. Like, believe me, guys, as long as you're not like just spamming away on that B passive ability, you're not going to run out of mana, guys. I mean, maybe you might want to throw in a mana pot if you have that, but I wouldn't, guys. I wouldn't go the cooldown reduction either. I definitely would not recommend that. But yeah. So please, guys, subscribe or like. I will be coming out with more content like this. Maybe I'll do that new. I've seen that new Narbash. That's the new hero coming out next Tuesday. So maybe I'll get some gameplay of me playing that for the first time. Maybe I'll do a live commentary if you guys want that. But please comment, like if you like the video, and subscribe. Thanks, guys.